We are hot in the mics.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Rinkaholics podcast. It's been a while since we've done one of these just straight up intros, but we got everyone here, including Giuliano today.
Hello.
He's back from his honeymoon. Pat's back from his honeymoon to Florida.
Yes. We're both new men. We're both married.
We're both newly.
Whoa, Pat, you got married?
In
Did you get hitched?
some
Hiked?
type of way.
Pat and I got married.
Jordan's back from his honeymoon from the golf course.
Always. There's a honeymoon every weekend.
And then I'm back from my honeymoon on a 7-mile run. So
Yeah, did you enjoy that? Did you
I
did you walk
enjoyed
or did you run?
both. I did all.
Okay.
I did the jog, the run, and the walking. And I knew a mile and a half in that
You regretted it.
that my legs were gonna hurt after.
Oh yeah.
But it's funny because in the previous years that I've done Bloomsday, it hasn't hurt this bad. This is the worst pain I have felt from running Bloomsday. So,
How many times have you done it before?
I want to say this is probably just guessing 7 or 8 times.
Jeez.
So, yeah. So it's been 4 years since I ran it. Ran it this year. My last time that I ran it was 4 years ago, and it was an hour 13. This year was an hour 20, and I never trained for it. So
Yeah.
honestly, it's pretty good. It's nice. And Jeremy said this earlier because he also ran it, but he was like, you know, it's nice knowing that I don't have to train for it and then run, and knowing that I can go out and just run 7.5 miles.
Yeah.
So
That is funny.
That is true, yeah.
That's it, dude.
yeah, man.
I walked down the golf course.
Yeah. You want to know my workout today from golfing? You want to know how many calories?
I feel like I know
that.
because my watch tells me every time.
Yeah, it was a 3-hour workout. Okay? Wow.
You would burn more if you carried your bag instead of pushing it.
A little bit more. 1,100 calories. So.
That's about how much I burned
Wow.
on my 7.5
And
mile
I had way
run.
more fun.
Wow.
And I'm not
hold
as
on.
sore.
I had. Okay, that is true. I still had fun overall because I had a bunch of free
Don't
food.
lie to
I had a bunch of
yourself.
free food afterwards.
Okay, fair.
So.
I had a bunch of purchase food afterwards.
and I got a free massage.
Hey.
So.
That's nice.
All right. You win. I'll give you that.
Massage sounds really nice right now.
Yeah. Anyway, so
That was so
that was my. We want to hear about Giuliano's honeymoon first. So Giuliano, why don't you tell us about
That's your
France.
love trip.
Yeah.
All right, my love trip was fun. It was really fun actually. I had
Whoa.
Hey, if you didn't know,
It was fun and it was really fun.
guess what? Fun.
If I could use 3 letters to describe it.
It would probably be FU.
Whoa.
Fun. Anyway,
that is a
it
love
was a
trip.
great time. A lot of stuff happened. That is, I can say.
Nice. Okay.
Context. Don't leave it there.
Leave
it there.
So the first flight, I didn't realize this about myself, but I got pretty motion sick. Almost pukes. Honestly, if the flight was a minute longer, I probably would have Ralphed everywhere.
You would have what everywhere?
Thrown up. Ralphed.
Ralph?
Have you never heard that term?
No, I've never heard of Ralph. I've
Oh,
heard
wow.
of thrown up. I've heard of blowing chunks.
Well,
Ralph does one
I
of
don't
them
hear
as well.
blowing chunks very often.
Well, I mean,
blowing
it's not-
chunks gives me the wrong idea. I don't think it comes out of your mouth.
Yeah, I did too.
That's a good point.
I'm with you there.
But yeah, I would have thrown up, and
on the airplane?
yeah, on the airplane.
But do you usually get motion sickness?
Not a whole ton. It'll happen every once in a while, on I don't know, in a car if I'm in the passenger seat reading or looking down at my phone for a while, or if I'm bending over to get something off the floor, it'll hit me randomly, when in a car and stuff.
Sounds like this sounds exactly like when Brianna all of a sudden said that she got motion sickness in the car and then she had to sit
It's complete
I need to
bullcrap.
sit when we went to the concert.
she's like, oh yeah, she's like, I have to sit passenger seat because I get
Funny.
motion sickness.
Was she
Yeah, whatever.
driving or was she
Bro, I'm
backseat? Or?
He was
honestly
driving.
shoving her in the trunk next time. If she throws that back there, whatever.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I was sweating everywhere. It was so sweaty. Celine said I turned into a different person because I honestly would not turn my head to look because if I moved at all, I
Yeah.
would throw up. So
Nice.
it was rough. But anyway, we
I'm not
went,
sitting next to him on the airplane next
yeah,
time.
well, we went to Salt Lake City and bought Dramamine, which is a motion sickness medicine that you can get.
Drug.
drugs.
Airport drugs.
Wow.
Yeah, they sell drugs in the airport.
Dude.
And I bought them all.
Advil.
And it was actually pretty cheap. It was like $5, $6. So I bought like 8 of them. And then
8 of the bottles.
I bought
might
8.
go through this whole thing.
I bought 8 boxes.
Did you pull out more from the back? I
I need more.
Did you watch any movies on the way
Yeah,
there?
I
On the way
watched
there.
on the way there. I don't remember the movies that I watched, but yeah.
had
Well, I
motorcycles,
watched some episodes of Seinfeld.
Wow.
Watched some Office. Because
Seinfeld.
yeah, actually they had The Office on the
Mhm.
plane.
Yeah,
and stuff.
they're
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot more. It's come a long way since.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Well, actually, over in France, they have The Office on Netflix.
yeah. So Europe's Netflix is like different because I remember
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
with like Flash and all that stuff.
That's why you get a VPN and register
Yeah,
to
exactly.
different countries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, I do have a VPN on my phone.
Nice. So something about that seems like it shouldn't be legal, but I guess
Right?
it is.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't remember the movies I watched. On the way back, I watched like 4 or 5 movies because we had a 10-hour flight,
Mm-hmm.
and I watched Remember the Titans. What other movies? Creed.
Is that your first time watching?
Remember the Titans?
Yeah.
No, I watched it once when I was younger,
Okay.
but I haven't seen it in years. I remember. I listened to this podcast a couple days ago or weeks ago. Do you remember on the Ghost Runners when Brad talked about it? He
Talked
talked
about-
about Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
How
I
like
think so.
it, like high school. It was talking about high school football and how powerful high school football
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Because it like changes this whole town's like how it's so racist and everything. And high school football changes the whole town into
Yeah.
not being racist anymore.
I mean,
Power of football, you know.
I mean, it
Yeah.
makes sense. It makes sense. You haven't seen that one. You
No,
still
I
haven't
haven't.
watched that.
You haven't seen Remember the Titans?
No.
Same, brother.
I mean, honestly, just go to TikTok. You could probably watch the whole thing.
No, I'm not doing what you did. Julian, all Jordan does. Well, it's become a thing now where people will post clips of movies, but they post like 30 clips
Yeah.
of the movie.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Jordan's like, "Yeah, I pretty much watched the movie."
I just scrolled through so many movies.
Like,
oh my god.
I've seen a couple clips
Wow.
from like Moneyball, but like I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
what
I also
ones.
watched that on TikTok.
Yeah,
Remember the Titans is a good movie.
It is a
Denzel
good
Washington.
yeah. Remember, he's on your list of.
Yeah, he's my
actors.
favorite actor.
Not racist.
Not racist.
Hashtag not
Diversity.
racist. Anyway, I watched a couple other movies. I don't remember them off the top of my head.
You said Creed.
Yeah, Creed. Remember the Titans. Inception. No.
Yeah, you told me Inception.
Inception.
I watched that on the plane too.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I
That's actually probably one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Inception.
I about like 20-30 minutes in, I was like, I have seen this before, and I'll probably forget, and then watch it again and be like,
I
I've
have
seen this before.
Yeah.
Why do I keep
Inception.
watching it?
No, Inception's a really good movie.
There's
It's
do we
insane.
want to talk about the ending of that movie? What do you remember the ending of that
Yeah,
movie?
I know.
Which
Where
one,
the
Inception?
spinner.
The top
Yeah.
where it spins.
Yeah.
So I looked it up.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: if you have never seen Inception,
You
stop listening to this podcast now
And skip
don't
forward
turn it back
to
on.
some random part.
skip
in the
forward like
episode.
3 minutes.
Anyway, yeah. So I looked it up, and the director said that the top falls over, which means it's real,
Uh-huh.
and it's not it's not a dream or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And stuff, and you can see that the top starts to wobble and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's the whole controversial, like, oh, does the top keep spinning
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff and whatnot.
My brain can't even like wrap my head around. I can't
was-
even wrap my head around that the whole movie.
It
It's
was
just
a-
so hard to understand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just maybe you're just.
Yeah,
It's
I
for,
know.
it's for the more intelligent.
Now, were you on your phone when you
I don't
were
watch
watching
them on
it?
TikTok though, so
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it on TikTok.
It's funny.
But DiCaprio's in it.
it's the
Tom Hardy's
longest
in
movie.
it.
It's a great cast.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Except-
it is a good cast.
Yeah. Yeah.
The girl that in it.
Oh,
that's in it is weird now, but
Oh yeah. What's his name?
Ellen-
Her name?
Ellen Page, Elliot Page.
Elliot Page.
Anyway, what other movies did I watch?
Maybe Celine remembers. Celine, do you remember any movies?
She probably has my AirPods in.
The Office.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Some
don't remember
movie
any other movies. But let's see. Okay, so then so on our flight, on the second flight, on the 10-hour flight, which is the second flight, the lady sitting next to Celine, like no disrespect to her or anything like that.
There's about to be some huge disrespect.
No offense,
She
but
was the like largest woman I've ever seen.
Oh, that
like
sucks.
Any other word to describe a lady?
No, okay, not like she wasn't fat by any means, but she was just like big, like.
That's not better.
Okay.
She was
What
just,
is that? So
what's
she's not
better?
fat, but she's
But
big.
She
was big boned.
She's big boned.
That's not what she
How
said.
tall? How tall do you
She's
think she was?
structured in a way
Well,
that
she was.
That was a trap.
She was very tall.
Okay.
She had super large
Jokes on you, I don't
hands
care.
and like a very
No,
large,
don't.
a very large head.
Giuliano, would a rowboat support this woman?
She could support the
What
rowboat.
position did she? What position does she play in softball?
She
That's
could
a
probably
good one.
play wide receiver or tight end. Oh no, tight end. She
So
could play
she's a
tight end.
1,200-pound tight end.
Whoa. Oh, I never said
You're
1,200
assuming she's
pounds.
I'm
that-
quoting Michael Scott.
I never said 1,200 pounds,
It's in
but
the extra cuts.
she could play tight end. So anyway,
Like
yeah,
a blocking tight end, or are we talking receiving tight end?
well, probably like a Travis Kelce.
Huh?
Wow.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
I see what
Okay.
you're, I see what you're saying. This makes
I
a lot
got
more
you
sense.
now.
She was
I got
just
you now.
built.
She was
She
not-
was
yes,
just
she is
built
very-
big.
Big.
She is,
but not
yeah.
fat.
No,
No.
she's not fat by any means. She just the way
She-
God made her was larger than other women and other men. Just
How tall do you think she was?
She was probably like
What was?
6'4", maybe.
Wow.
Jeez.
It's not very often you see a tree, you know?
In a woman, no.
Anyway, the reason I bring her up is because I was sitting aisle. So the plane goes a 2-seater on the side, and then 3 seats in the middle, and then 2 seats on the other side. And Celine and I were sitting in the 3 seats in the middle. I was on the aisle. Celine was in the middle, and this lady was on the other side of Celine, and she was taking up, like, with her elbow, taking up half of Celine's seat and like digging into Celine's ribs. So that was just the bummer of the flight and stuff. And Celine had to deal with that the entire time.
Celine
You
didn't
like
stand
that?
anything against her, though.
The lady got up to
Oh,
use
you
the
just got
The lady got up to use the bathroom, and I was like, "Celine, now is your chance to like swoop in and take your spot back."
Yeah.
She didn't want to.
I was
but-
fighting with an old lady on mine, except we weren't really fighting. She was like,
Whoa.
"Oh, sorry," and
What
I
are you
was
doing,
like,
an old lady there, Pat?
"You good?"
Old people are nice on a plane.
Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah, I've had a conversation.
Yeah, because it's like their first time out of the house, and they're like, "What do I do,
Oh,
Where am I?
speaking of old ladies,
honey? What do we do next?"
Speaking of old ladies, on the flight back, we had a medical emergency on our flight,
Nice.
and it was this lady sitting right in front
Not
of Celine. I don't know what the deal was, but they had to make an announcement and be like, "Is there any medical like people on the plane? If so, can you please come to the back of the plane?" And stuff. And then we had to wait for firefighters to
Dang.
like come on the plane. Or
Oh,
first
she hasn't
responders.
left yet?
No, we like just landed.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking this
on
is
the
midair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no,
fine.
The
We gotta-
firefighters are parachuting in.
I mean,
Guys, we gotta wait. It'll be a while.
I mean, my dad said that I remember he flew when he was flying to Italy one time that there was a lady who had a heart attack and she ended up dying
Yeah.
mid-flight.
That's
They should have
unfortunate.
just like kind of jolted the plane, and that might have like, you know how they use the clear. That probably
is
would have
not
been
the same
equivalent. If the pilot was good enough, he could just jolt it, and she would be like, "I'm alive." Plus, they're high enough. It's like she's closer to God. Maybe he can like, like the painting with the hand touching. Anyways,
Or you find the nearest thunderstorm that's going on.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
stick her
Do it.
Fly-
body out the window.
fly straight into the thunderstorm and jolt the plane. And that woman is
insane.
breathing again.
But everyone else is dead.
Kind of
His ass
selfish
were
they
burnt.
didn't do that, honestly.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had to wait for firefighters to get on the plane after we landed, and then it was fine after that. But so it was actually really funny. They made an announcement. They were like, "Can you everybody please like stay seated until the first responders can come on the plane?" And the lady sitting right next to us, different lady, because this is a different flight.
What
But-
size?
What?
How tall was she?
Yeah, what size?
Pretty small, but like didn't speak English and
Short Mexican, huh?
French.
Short French woman.
That
huh?
is so.
Anyway, she
I'm sorry,
they
guys.
make the announcement, and like as soon as we land, this lady is up and books it out there. It does not wait at all.
She couldn't understand.
No, they announced it in French too. Anyway, it was pretty funny. We were like, man, that lady booked it out of
She
here.
didn't give.
But anyway, so let's see, second flight. Okay, yeah. Okay, so on another one of our flights, I I like looked out the window. So we're in the middle seats again. And I like glance over to the side to look out the window, and it is the most like beautiful sunset I've ever seen. Like super bright orange, just like so gorgeous.
Do not laugh at him.
No, it's
And
it's
I
'cause
like- I bump over, like I bump Celine, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you gotta check this out. Like look over here. As soon as she turns her head, the person in the window aisle just slams the window closed, and I was like so disappointed. And yeah, it was such a bummer.
It's just comical.
Yeah,
Like,
it is
good
funny.
timing.
Nah, I
Yeah.
was laughing because he told the story earlier.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it, so.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was pretty funny. So we land in France, like go into the airport. I have my water bottle on the side of my backpack in the little bottle holder thing, and Celine like sees a water fountain to fill up her water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and like stand next to this railing, and this is in the airport. And as soon as I stand next to the railing, I like turn, and my water bottle gets caught on the side of the railing and like falls over the railing onto these like window panels or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it like I just look at it, and it makes like a super loud noise because it's a metal water bottle. I just look at it and like glance over to Celine and glance at the water bottle, and I'm like, oh, I gotta leave it. Like I can't go grab it because it's in an airport, and I didn't want to jump over a railing
You
in an
should've.
airport.
I probably would have.
Yeah, you would have got tackled.
He's got a bomb.
Anyway, so I had to leave my water bottle there.
Dang.
So that was a bummer.
No.
Anyway, so we go to the airport. Let's see. So we get to our hotel, and we had to we checked in early, and so we get in the hotel room. Like finally sit down for a second, and then like we're in there, and this guy like knocks on the door and like opens the door and like lets himself in. And I was like, well, like I stood up and I was like, hello, and he was like, oh, sorry, or like said something, and then like walked back and like left. And I was like, that was the weird. Like it didn't look like he worked there or anything.
He spoke English?
No, well, I don't think he said sorry. He was just like, oh, like, and then just like kind of backed away.
Oh, in French.
And yeah, oh, and so
Oh.
we,
Yeah.
Oi! Oi!
yeah, and like backed away, and like didn't look like he worked there. Wasn't really wearing like work clothes and stuff.
How'd he get into your room?
He used a room key.
He was just wearing pajamas.
Was he like the previous person in the room? And
No,
you just,
so we ended up like going downstairs and asked about it, and the lady was like, "Oh, that was my colleague. He didn't realize you guys were in there and stuff." And like we were like, "Okay, that makes us feel way better."
'Cause-
But there was a window open in the room, and there was this like rectangular like metal box in there, so we're assuming he was going in there to like close the window and take that metal.
And they let you check in early.
Yeah, so they big
So
thing
there
is
was
they-
like miscommunication.
yeah,
probably.
exactly. So
No creep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So miscommunication. We just were like
Justified.
super like spooked, and we're like,
Yeah.
is there people just walking into random rooms here? Like, what's going on? But
it's communal.
yeah, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Do you know what you signed up for? It's France.
You didn't read the fine print.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, so we're in Paris for a few days. We do like a food tour, which was really cool. We go to a few sites and stuff, and then we have a flight to Nice, which Nice is like south of France, and it's like pretty warm there.
Pop quiz.
Yes.
Actually, just Jordan, because I feel like
Oh.
you'll know. How do you spell Nice?
Oh.
Can you use it in a sentence for me?
I went to Nice, France.
Definition.
A city in
place-
France.
country of origin.
Overseas.
In.
Okay.
Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Careful. Careful.
I want to go I, dude.
Careful.
E.
Careful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just spell it how Nice.
Just
N-E-E-C-E.
Wow, you're so dumb.
what a
You were actually
loser.
right when you said I.
Oh, it was an S?
No, it's
No, it's
N-I-C-E.
Pat threw me off.
I know.
I was going to go I.
It's just like nice.
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
N-I-C-E.
it's spelled N-I-C-E.
Dang, I was just going to spell like Nice, like N-I-E-C-E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, the one that I kept getting confused with was, is it Rennes or Renee?
Rennes.
Rennes.
I
Yeah.
thought Ren-
I was confused too because I heard it pronounced like 3 different ways. When you first told me you were going there, I think you pronounced it as Rennes.
Rennes, yeah.
And then
But it's spelled with 1 E.
yeah, and then you said something else, and then most recently you said Rennes, I think.
Yeah. Actually, most recently I said Rennes.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice, man. Anyway,
super Nice.
so we get to Nice. We go to Nice for a few 4 days.
Nice.
It's like really nice weather there because it's like 70s, and we came from Spokane or Paris, which is like cooler weather. Paris and Spokane had pretty similar weather, so it was like 50s, 60s or whatever. The water was like super blue,
No
like
pollution.
really gorgeous water.
Yeah.
It's Mediterranean Sea is where we were at. But yeah,
The old Medi.
The old
The
Medi.
old
The old Medi.
but yeah,
I'm aware.
Like really gorgeous water.
I'm familiar.
We swam a little, like a tiny bit.
You want one?
And then we had a Segway tour, which I don't know if you guys know what Segways are. It's the
Use it in a sentence.
we had a Segway tour.
Can you segue into the next story?
So yeah, so Segway tour, super fun. Got sunburned. Our tour guide was pretty funny. Let's see, yeah. Tried escargot, which is the snails.
Oh, how was that?
That was delicious. It was really good,
My
actually.
mom was like, "Don't look, I'll pay you $100 for you, and then for one of Shannon's kids to like."
Did you
do
do
it?
it?
Try it.
Well, no, I
it'd be-
haven't. No, she just
it'd
said
be
today
the-
when we were looking at the pictures.
It'd be the easiest $100 ever. The
That's
only
what I was telling my mom.
it was so good because they like cover it in like basil and butter, and or like garlic.
What's like the
And butter.
texture like though?
It's like kind of like a mushroom. It's a little squishy. So it's
The
kinda
inside.
a snail because
You're
you have
supposed to eat the. Oh.
you don't eat the shell.
Oh, I
you
guess
have to dig the
picture that
snail
you
out.
took. The picture that you took was at the after.
No, that was the before. Yeah, it was before we took out all the snails. Yeah, we had to like take a little 2-prong like fork thing and dig the snails out, and it was really good.
Nice.
I saw a little eye on one of them, so that was
I'm
fun.
gonna have to start getting a diverse palate, you know, and
Yeah.
start trying some of these foods, you know.
I'm just gonna grab a snail off the ground and eat it.
I'm in France.
He said it was good.
Salt, pepper.
The snail is screaming.
Yeah. Anyway, so after Nice, we went to Rennes, which is like all the way north of France, like on the coast up there. And well, actually, Rennes isn't up there, but we went to Rennes to take a bus ride to Mont Saint Michel, which is like an hour away, and Mont Saint Michel is on the coast. We were there for about 3 days, which is like travel there full day and then leave at like 10 a.m. the next day. So like 2 days maybe in total. But saw Mont Saint Michel. That was really cool. It's cool to like learn about it.
Everybody could probably hear that.
Yeah.
It was cool to like learn about it in history books and then like actually go there and see it.
This place exists.
Wow. And then we went back to Paris for about 4 days. And we went to 3 days probably. And we went to a PSG game, which is a professional soccer game, or Messi plays on that team. Messi and Mbappe and Neymar and
Yeah, I saw him.
Donnarumma, right? Is that his name?
Yeah,
Donnarumma.
yeah.
And Verratti. Verratti played.
Oh yeah, Verratti.
Yep.
And it was funny. A couple funny things happened during that. Actually, PSG lost 3-1. PSG also got a red card. And we had this like little kid behind us, which was like the biggest PSG fan ever, and he was like crying and sobbing by like the end of the game because they were losing. And
Mariela's competition.
yeah, honestly, Marielo's competition. But anyway, so it was really funny. Just like it was hard not to laugh seeing him cry and stuff. And there was a point where like the team that PSG was playing against scored a goal, and then the referee like took the goal back, and so this kid like is sobbing and then is like okay for a second, and then 10 seconds later the other team scores again, and this kid bursts into tears again.
Roller coaster of emotions.
Honestly, yeah,
Can take it, you know.
it was really funny. But-
Oh, shit, I was gonna ask a question for the PSG game, but I can't remember. Oh, It's just funny that you gotta see Messi the game before he gets suspended.
Yeah, actually, he got suspended because he
Took a trip.
Yeah, he took a trip to Saudi Arabia and missed practice. But I saw a quote that he said today.
Yeah.
And he was like, honestly, I thought we had a day off. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he's leaving PSG at the end of the season. So, but
you gotta see one of his final games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool.
The best soccer player in the world.
Yeah. Okay, so after the PSG game,
Arguably, but
we had a couple more games, or we had a couple days, and then we left. But the Paris airport, the Charles de Gaulle airport, it is so big and is the bougiest airport I've ever been to. They have like Rolex stores there. They have Gucci stores there. They have Chanel. They have a couple other stores there that were like really nice stores. They have arcades that you can just go and play.
I think we've been in there.
Yeah, we've been there before. Yeah. They have PS5s that you can play.
They have PS5s. That's crazy.
They have these like really nice luxury seats.
I'm gonna go to Paris.
Didn't know those things existed.
Yeah, it is like you have to take like a metro to get to certain gates and stuff like that. Like it is a massive airport. You drive for 5 minutes out of the airport and you're still in the airport.
Sounds like a layover I want to have.
Honestly, yeah, it was nice. We were there for like a little bit, so it was good. Another thing for the soccer game, when I bought the tickets, off of this like kind of sketchy website. I didn't realize it was sketchy at the time. It was just a website.
eBay.
It was just a website I never heard of because I've never bought professional soccer tickets before,
Yeah.
especially in France. So
cheaptickets.com.
This is definitely not a scam.
Trust us.
I bought the tickets and then like I don't know, it was a couple days before the trip. We like looked into the webs like reviews on the website, and probably 2/3 of them were like, "This is a scam. Do not buy your tickets off here. You won't get them, or like they won't give you the tickets, and they won't respond to you." And then like we ended up getting the tickets. We got them like through they sent us a WhatsApp message, and they sent us the tickets for like the wrong name. They sent us different tickets, and then like a couple minutes later, they were like, "Oh, sorry, we sent you the wrong tickets, Mr. Donaro. Here are your tickets." And then on that message, it said, do not mention this website if anybody asks you where you got your tickets. Memberships aren't transferable. Like, say you got them from a family or friend.
Whoa.
And stuff. Yeah, it was
That's
pretty
not
funny.
sketchy
Anyway,
at all.
everything worked out. It was fine. But yeah, so that's basically the trip.
Dang.
So 2 questions. One, is there like what was your favorite food that you had on the trip? Meal, I should say.
Favorite meal was probably, if I'm gonna say like a new meal that I tried, it was probably the escargot. The escargot was really good. There's also like burrata cheese that we had like on pizza. That's really good.
Sounds good.
It was delicious.
Did you guys have a lot of coffee when you were over there?
Yeah, we had a good amount of coffee. Yeah, probably Celine had multiple coffees. Not every day, but like,
Coffee.
well, actually, yeah, probably every day. But yeah, we had a lot of coffee. Not a whole lot of gelato, but every now and then, a lot of croissants. They don't really do breakfast over there, so like
I think it's a European thing.
yeah, like
Nice.
when we stayed at the hotels, we like got their breakfast, and it was just like
Bread.
it was like crepes, but
Bunch
like
of
really
waffles.
small crepes. It was bread, some pastries,
Yeah.
but no like, or they did
No
have
protein.
some eggs and stuff, but it wasn't like,
No meat.
yeah,
it's not
there
a
was,
big
like,
breakfast.
Yeah, it is not.
That's
a big
the American thing
breakfast
is have to
Ireland, on the other hand, has a big breakfast.
No.
Big time
Well,
breakfast.
actually, I wonder if I feel like England might.
I think
gotta have a big breakfast.
they-
and
I think
second
they do.
breakfast.
I think so.
Because,
Yeah.
yeah, they're kind of the same
But
as
like
Ireland.
Italy,
in
I
that
know
terms.
doesn't. France doesn't. I wonder if Germany. I can't imagine Germany does. They probably just have beer for
I was
breakfast.
gonna say it's
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, dinners, beer.
They have
That's
Ger-
actually
they have German
Ireland.
And some
wieners for
chocolate.
breakfast.
What'd you say?
So they have German wieners. For
Oh, dude, German wieners are nice.
yeah.
Wiener Schnitzel. Anyway, okay. So for some of our Catholics that are listening, what about any relics that you guys saw? That you really,
We
or
saw
I guess your any notable ones.
Saint. What is it? Saint Teresa of Lisieux I think. We saw.
Was that in Lazoo?
Was that in Lazoo?
Spell
was
that one,
actually
Jordan.
Not in Lazoo.
What do you
Spell
say?
Lazoo.
Lazoo?
Wrong.
You didn't use it in the sentence yet.
St.
Saint
Therese of Lazoo.
Yeah.
Country
Lazoo
of
or
origin?
Lazoo?
Lazoo.
St. Teresa of Lazoo.
Lazoo.
All right, guys. I think it's just L.A. and then zoo.
Incorrect.
Wow,
It's
you got it right.
L-I-S-I.
Why is everything starting with an I?
E
That's why I asked. No,
U
that's
X.
le, not la. Lazoo.
Well, you talk to the French about that.
E-U-X,
Well,
Jordan.
we have some issues because the French don't know how to speak.
Oui, oui.
You are part French, so maybe you need a.
My last name is French. It means nothing.
There's parts of French in you.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of like tombs, of like bishops buried or not buried, but like it was weird. It was like tombs of bishops, but in a church. So it was cool. A lot of really cool like church stuff. Like they had like stations of the cross in really huge stone above a doorway and stuff, and some of the churches were really cool. But yeah, I don't know. I can't think of all the relics that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a whole lot of them.
Okay, I had to verify that this was in France. Did you guys see?
Golly.
Sorry.
Did you guys see Notre Dame Cathedral?
Yeah, the
We
Notre
did.
Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, we did. We couldn't go inside of it because it's still being
Renovated.
Yeah, it's still being renovated and
From
everything.
the fire.
Yeah, it had a fire 4 years ago. And like you can't go inside it or anything. They're still doing a ton of construction, but you can see the front and whatnot. And yeah, so we saw it. It's still like looks really nice, and it's so sad to see like everything that happened to it and whatnot. But
Speaking of, we were talking today about remembering where you were when you like heard some news.
oh yeah,
I remember exactly where I was when I heard that had
Oh yeah,
caught on fire.
where were you?
I was at work and I was on top of the mezzanine, second level.
Oh yeah.
My coworker was like, "Dude, Notre Dame Cathedral is on fire." I was like, "What?" And I was like, say it again. I just
Yeah.
was so caught off guard, just did not believe it. And he's like, and I had to look it up real quick, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
Right,
Like, this is
yeah,
what?
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Even seeing pictures of it, like, so when you go there, it has all the construction that they're doing, like posted outside, like lined.
Yeah.
With, like how they display like descriptions of stuff in museums and whatnot. They have all that outside of the cathedral and stuff, and like seeing pictures of it burning and stuff is so
Yeah.
like heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy to see, and I'm glad I saw it.
Mhm.
I wish I could have gone in, but yeah.
Dang. Well, would you recommend somebody to go to France?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd recommend going to it. I'm glad I saw all the sights and everything, and the food was really good. So yeah, I'd recommend it.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, great. Sounds like you had a fun time, and you guys spent like what, 2 weeks there?
Yeah, 2 weeks on the day.
Was by the end of it where you're like, all right, I'm ready to go home?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, for sure. The last day we kind of just like played cards in our hotel room and ate food, and we actually went to McDonald's on the last day.
Nice.
Dude, French McDonald's probably has different.
They
Well, I know in
yeah.
Italy, people really like it. They see it as like a delicacy, you know?
Yeah.
Did they put snail on the burger?
I debated.
Right.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that in foreign countries, they definitely get like certain like special items.
Oh yeah, I mean they had
Different
they had
menus.
They had a ton of different desserts and stuff, and
Ooh, I bet the desserts are
it was actually really
fire.
funny because the workers there were like playing music, and like the manager was like dancing as they were serving people. And
They're
stuff.
actually happy over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
it
kidding.
was pretty
Dude,
funny.
they probably get paid
Way
more.
different than here.
Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah.
but,
Life's probably just better over there.
but yeah, by the end of it, I was ready to come home.
Nice. All right. Well,
Well,
Pat, tell us about your trip to Florida. First of all, first question I have to ask you right off the bat: did you, in any way, shape, or form, mention that you also do a podcast to anyone?
did I also do a podcast?
That you also do a podcast, the
Uh,
Rankaholics podcast.
oh no, I didn't. Sorry, no, I didn't.
I respect it. I'm not a big.
I'm not a big.
There's no, I
Listen,
like that.
I will say it if I'm asked, but I'm not going to outright be like, "Hey guys, you just met me.
No,
I do a podcast."
I'm not saying do it like that. I said mention.
John, look, there's a reason. Well, we're different people.
It's okay.
We're different people.
Cutting his pay.
From zero
It's
to
a negative.
to zero.
He's paying us.
You've said that before.
Say it again.
Just real quick,
Mm-hmm.
you think Charles de Gaulle Airport is big?
It is.
Yeah. Well, you've never been to DFW,
Which
Dallas Fort Worth.
That's definitely
I'm
big
gonna
as
look it up
Texas.
right now.
Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, 12.5 square miles. DFW, 27.
Wow, yeah, that is
Twice as
big.
big.
Dude, Texas always do it big, you know.
They do.
That is a
crazy.
bit bigger.
They
We're
do.
gonna miss our flight. It's all the way on the other side.
We gotta fly over to the other side.
They actually have to. You have to take a flight from one side to the other just to get there. You know?
It's
That's crazy.
No, but I had both of my layovers there, and it's like 5 separate terminals, and there's like a freeway that runs down the middle. And like the 5, you picture like kind of, I'd picture a 6-pack minus one of the packs. Like that's how it's built, and then the freeway runs right down the middle.
Is that the airport that has?
I'm picturing my 6-pack.
It's only got 5.
Is that
missing one.
is that the airport? I think I've seen pictures of it where like there's a bunch of different like intersecting
Whoa.
intersecting freeways or highways, but they all go like they like.
I mean,
there's
there's kind of, yeah, maybe you have, maybe that's what you're thinking.
What is he thinking about? Interwedding?
I mean, this is what it looks like, so kind of. But those are the runways.
And I've heard people say, "Oh, if you miss your exit, you gotta drive all the way to this city."
Oh,
just
that
to
does look like my 6-pack.
Those are all the runways and everything.
Yeah.
But I flew American, and that's the first and probably only time I'll fly American because I'll get there later. They are horrible.
Why?
What were you thinking, dude?
Why didn't you just?
It was the only. So flying from Spokane Airport, which is
you'd have to fly
kind
by
of
airplane.
small, to
Should've gone
Panama City, Florida, which is even smaller.
Mm-hmm.
There is only one airline that has one flight a day,
In Panama.
and it is involves a 9.5-hour layover in Dallas Fort Worth.
That's crazy.
So I
You spent
didn't
9.5
have
hours in.
I didn't have any options. My flight there, I was like 9.5 hours. What am I gonna do? Whatever. And I was like, yeah. I had
Honestly.
checked a few times to see if there were other flights, and like a week before I left, there was another flight that had only like a 2 or 3 hour. So I called and waited on the phone for like 40 minutes, and they were like, "Yeah, it's gonna cost you like another $200." And I was like, "Well, this flight wasn't available when I booked." And like, "Okay, we'll just give it to you for free." So on the way back though, I still had a 9.5-hour layover, which turned to like 11 because it got delayed again. But the coming home, I left the airport and was gonna go, find stuff to do. But I was taking an Uber back to the airport, and he's like, "All right, Terminal C." And then as we're like pulling up to Terminal C, I'm like, "Oh, they just changed it. It's Terminal E." So he like has to get off, loop all the way back around, come around.
Mm-hmm.
But when you board the plane, and they have like bridges that go over this freeway for the planes. And so we're like in the plane going over it, and I'm like, "Oh, the freeway's right below us," which is a pretty interesting thing if you've never seen it before.
Wait, so if he takes you to Terminal C
Mm-hmm.
and drops you off, and then your flight gets changed, do you have to take
They have a train. They have a little train system. Yeah, and it's not a super long wait or anything. I mean, you're on it for a few minutes, but it's a huge airport.
So would it have been quicker to take that train
No,
rather than
because I was already in the car.
Dude, I'd be too stressed to go to the airport.
Would have been quicker.
we thought Colorado. Well, Colorado's not that bad.
Colorado's not that bad.
No, Colorado's
Go
not
like
bad at all.
that.
I think I'm not even trying. I don't even know which airports have been any problem. The Rome airport's not super big, right, Giuliano?
No, I mean
It's big.
It's big, but it's not that big.
I guess. Dang, Dallas. What about the Florida airports? Which one were you at?
Panama City, pretty
Okay.
small. I thought it was. I think it's smaller than Spokane. I figured.
Well, I'll let you guys know how Orlando's is. It's not that big. It's not.
When are
Really?
you going to Orlando?
In July.
It's not that. Yeah, it's not that big.
Probably bigger than
What
Spokane.
are you going to Orlando for?
Yeah, I'd say bigger. Definitely bigger than Spokane. I mean, Spokane's
Oh,
not
for that
big.
work thing.
But it's not as
Like
big as you
Disney
think it
World.
would be.
Nice.
Okay, so that was your flying experience.
Yeah.
Did you do anything? I guess before we get to your like.
Let me
trip?
just like explain what the trip was. Basically, this podcast that I listen to, Giuliano and Isaiah listen as well.
Yes, sir.
Fairly small, not super small, but they were like, "Hey, we want to do a vacation. Does anyone want to come?" And so filled out like a few surveys to like kind of see who was interested, where to go, what time of the year to go, and settled on this beach house in Panama City, Florida. That housed like 30 people. And so it was the two of them and then their wife and fiance and like 28 strangers who listen to the same podcast.
So did you like have to get your name drawn in some contest, or was it just the first 28
You
people
just had
to
to
get picked? Or
the first person to like purchase they basically like listed all the rooms, and when you bought that was like basically everything for the trip except your way of getting there.
Mm-hmm.
So all the food, one of the hosts of the podcast, his brother-in-law did the cooking, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So all that was included, all the like shuttle service and all that to and from airport and all that. Yeah, that was all included with the like purchase of the room, basically.
Okay.
But so it was like a full day of travel to get there. I think going there, my flight was delayed 6 times. And then I had 3 gate changes, and I ended up landing 5 hours late.
How many flights did you have?
I had 2 flights.
I had 8 flights, and I got delayed 1 hour.
Yeah. My flight from
good.
Spokane to DFW was on time.
Delta, Air France.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I'm in Southwest.
Southwest isn't bad.
guy's spirit, man.
You may have to fly the airplane, but you will get there. Maybe.
Well, I don't know if you have to fly it. But yeah, I mean, the first flight, Spokane to Dallas, was on time and everything. But then once we got there, we were just hopping from gate to gate.
Right.
And then, so yeah, I landed like 5 hours late. Coming back, I think it was the same thing. I was coming back to the airport and the gate kept changing. And I was like, I'm going to go sit here until my plane is boarding, and then I'll move gates, because I know if I move now, I'm going to have to move at least 3 more times. So I just sat still, and I still had to move. But at one point, we go to another gate, and you can tell like the same group of people keep standing up and moving gates with you. And we're at a gate, and there is one flight that is currently boarding, another second flight that is on the screen, a third flight that's ours that on our phone says we're supposed to be there, and a fourth flight from that gate that they're announcing got moved. So there's like the amount of people that are on 4 different flights all in this area, and they're all confused. And like I turned to the guy next to me. I was like, which flight are you? He's like, I'm going to Spokane. And so we were kind of talking about all this. And I mean, everyone was so confused. And this one lady was going to Buffalo, New York, which is another hour ahead.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got to be getting in so late. Like, we're going back 2 hours and we're getting in late. And so it was a mess. And I was like, American, what is wrong with you? And I am led to believe that it's American. I don't know. Maybe it's the first time. I will say the first time it was delayed so much was because Dallas had like this massive thunderstorm that just hovered, and they shut down everything at the airport. So that's why it was delayed the first time. But the second time it was like, this makes no sense.
Weird.
So anyways, but that was the flying. First day, yeah, I just got in at like 9 or so, and just kind of
PM
met
or AM?
PM.
Okay.
Met everyone, ate some food, and honestly, I think that was like pretty much it.
So what time were you originally supposed to be there?
3:30.
Oh, okay. So everyone had already like been there.
Oh yeah.
Were you so you're the last one?
I was the second to last one. There was
Okay.
another guy coming from Dallas as well,
Oh,
Loveland, and he got in I think at midnight.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, and the airport was like 40 minutes from our house.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, that was basically the first day was just travel for most people. Second day, though, it was raining pretty much the whole time we were down there. So we
Every day in Florida. You're
yeah,
saying?
we had
Okay.
one nice day. We had one like Florida weather day.
And you chose to get a sunburn. That
And
day.
I got the worst sunburn of all. Thursday, that was Friday. Thursday, we went golfing first thing in the morning. Show up to the course, and we drive like an hour to this course, and we walk in, and the guy was like upset that we were there, probably because he was going to get a day off. And he was like, before you pay me, look at the radar. And it showed like the huge storm coming in.
The weather radar?
Yeah.
We're like, yep, we're playing.
And it was like, well, I mean, like, we didn't come to Florida just for this, but like, we're here to golf, and we
Yeah.
drove an hour to get here, and like he flew his clubs in from Kansas. Like we're
Dang.
golfing, and so it was like it was raining the whole time. It downpoured like 2 or 3 times, but it was still a ton of fun.
Was there any Top Golf that you guys could do?
No, there wasn't a Top Golf there. I don't think.
There's one in Orlando.
I know.
And there's
I'm
one in
already planning
Dallas.
on doing
I wish I had gone to. There's a reason I didn't. Sunburn. But
that. I had to hide from the sun.
yeah. I went golfing, and then I think we all went back, and it wasn't raining at the time. It was lightly raining, but it was kind of overcast, so we all like got in the pool, and we're doing like just classic like games where like you jump in the pool trying to catch a ball. You like they throw 3 balls at you, and you're like trying to catch the one that they say, whatever. So I went up to like the 3rd floor and was throwing them down, and we were trying to do that. We were just being, like teenage boys for like 3 hours. Don't remember what we did that night. I would have to probably go back and listen to the podcast that they recorded and remember. Then Friday we had really nice weather, so we went to the beach, and I knew I burned easily.
But not that easily.
Yeah, and I use sunscreen. I use sunburn, guys.
No
You
wonder.
sunburnt and it worked.
You got what you asked for.
I use spray on sunscreen, and there's a few theories. One, I think it was kind of windy and it kind of sprayed off.
It just goes immediately off.
I got most of it on me, but I should have reapplied. I should have applied more than once for being in the sun for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
I had the weirdest like sunburn lines though. It didn't make sense. It was like
for people like
it looked like I methodically sprayed and like tried to do some weird designs.
it's like the one where you do like this and they're like, oh, I'm done. Don't rub it in at all.
Yeah. So that set in later that night. We were at the beach all day playing volleyball, spike ball, running into the water. Some frisbee game where you knock the bottles off.
Oh,
I think we played Can Jam.
We played that. Is that the one where the bottle stands on like a
A pole.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Just threw the frisbee
CD
around.
Crocs?
Huh?
CD Crocs?
No.
Or, sorry, I think it's alligators.
Alligators. I don't know the difference. Never will. We were told there was one on the like 13th hole on the back 9 or something, and I really wanted to see it. We all did,
It's probably a piece of driftwood.
and never
With
did.
legs.
I was walking up to the water. I was like, I need to see this thing. Never did.
That's fortunate.
Dang.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
But,
Alligators are dark colored with a broad, rounded snout and are usually found in fresh water. Crocodiles are grayish green
Oh, that's the difference.
and prefer
I
coastal,
knew alligators were straight.
brackish, and saltwater habitats.
I'm never gonna forget now.
No, thank you.
I'm still gonna forget.
So crocodiles are in Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
crocodiles
I
are
know.
in Florida.
I don't know what's in Florida. Maybe both.
No,
But you just said alligators.
alligators are in
Fresh
Florida.
water.
Yeah, we can wrestle them.
Yeah, alligators are
Okay.
Are in Florida.
You can wrestle
So
them.
they're straight.
You can wrestle them in
Yeah,
Orlando.
so they straight.
But
they
we don't
straight.
condone them. Or we don't adone them.
Nope.
We condone them.
Condone them.
Anyway, continue.
Beach, and then we went on a sunset cruise, like a 2-hour cruise on the water, which was really
Nice.
beautiful. I didn't enjoy it a whole lot just because I was badly burned. I was wearing shoes that just hurt the whole time. It was a little chilly, but it was fun. There was a guy, Jeffrey, playing live music. He was taking requests, and they would give him like just like pop songs that shouldn't be acoustic, and he played them. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
And
Jeffrey sounds
then
like a cool guy.
he was very nice. It's
Very
cool.
nice.
It's cool. Went back and had pizza. I had one piece of pizza, and then went to sleep for almost 12 hours
Dang.
because I was in a lot of pain, and I was like, if I'm asleep, I'm not in pain.
Wait, this was your last day?
This was Friday, so second to last day.
And then how many days were you there? Just
I
3?
came back Sunday,
Oh.
so it was 3 full days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Flew out Sunday.
and okay.
Friday, I don't eat meat on Friday, and I just wasn't eating any of the food they were making, and it was all amazing. And I was like, this is a bummer.
But can't you technically, if that's the only thing that they're
If you
providing?
absolutely have to, but I mean, they had a cupboard full of food, so I just had a few
Oh.
bagels throughout the day. I didn't eat a whole lot,
Pat's just in the corner with some crumbs.
parceling them out. So then slept. Saturday, we went to play pickleball early, but the courts were flooded with old people,
That's fair.
so we left.
Tough. We need to get
Um,
back into that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Sorry,
golf
I'm
season.
going
It's golf season.
yeah, yeah.
It's golf season, man. Come
Well, you guys play golf and we can get really good at pickleball.
I will still be good at pickleball when I come back.
It's pickleball. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort.
It does.
Golf, though.
Golf.
On the other hand, that's a skill.
Golf is a few times a week.
As my shirt reads,
Yes.
golfers or athletes too.
Did you buy the other one that says
I don't
golf?
know about that. Tiger Woods is an athlete
What?
Why is that?
because he's muscular.
Wait, did you get the other one that says golf sucks? Or what was it?
No, I didn't get the golf sucks one.
Okay.
I was the one that says I won like a golf championship
Oh,
in
yeah.
1980.
There's a difference between an athlete and a sport. Golf is a sport, but you don't have to be you don't have to be
It's
an
pretty
athlete.
punishing walking 7,000 yards in the hot 100-degree
Kinda-
sun sometimes.
Let me know when you're not walking, when you're running.
There's speed golf.
Okay, well,
Anyway.
touche.
All right.
Speed golf is athletes. Real athletes play speed golf.
Anyways, you didn't play pickleball because all the old people were there. We went and did something else, and I can't remember what it was. So, bummer on that. But we, towards the evening, we had a crawfish boil, which was pretty cool.
Wait, food?
Yes, sir.
That sounds
Crawfish
That
is a
sounds pretty
fish.
good. No, I know that.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying like bowl, like you just had a bowl of like crawfish.
Boil.
Oh, I think
Crawfish boil. Big old pot, boiled them alive, whole thing. And he had homemade.
Actually sounds pretty good.
It tasted like regular fish. It was a lot of work to get out because you got to like rip the head off. You got to pull the tail. You got to rip them apart and pull the poop thing out. And then you got to pull you got to pull the stem out that like is the intestine poop tract or
I
whatever.
didn't take this class in high school.
Why didn't we dissect the crawfish?
I neither, brother, but I
forgot to
learned
take the
in
poop thing
Florida.
out last time I ate them.
That's why it smells so weird.
He explained it, and I was like, "Cool. Can you explain it again?" So he explained it as I did it. I ate one, and I was like, "It's not worth doing this a bunch of times because the size of food you get is, I mean, the size of a dime, okay, a quarter maybe."
Maybe you did it
Pat,
wrong.
it sounds like you don't like working.
Not for
How
the
are
food.
you
Not for
lazy?
your food that's like this much.
It was, yeah, it's similar. I don't know. Reminds me, yeah. Anyways,
You
So-
love speed golf.
Yeah.
he also had homemade chicken nuggets that were fire, and I was just gobbling those down.
Dang.
But anyways, and then they did like awards and everything.
Oh, that's what your story was.
Yeah.
So what did you win?
The award I won was the Magellan Award for traveling the furthest, since I
Wow.
came from the opposite end of the country. And then they had prizes. Basically, the whole weekend we were there, they had a rubber band game where everyone started with one rubber band, and they would leave them laying out in the house, like hidden. There were games, different activities, like you could win them. Like the pool game where we were jumping and catching balls. They were like, okay, one band if you can catch the correct ball, whatever. Stuff like that. And then if they were on your person, you couldn't take them. But if you like set them down somewhere, they were free game.
Oh wow.
So
Do you have them on you at all times?
yeah, when I slept, I like put them. We were used bunk beds, so I put them on like the inside of my bed, kind of behind my stuff, so people would have had to crawl over me. But I mean, I was in a room full of guys, and none of them were that invested in getting the bands.
What were some of the prizes?
So they basically, like, the person with the most bands just went into the treasure room, they called it, and there was on the bed just tons of prizes. It was up to like $1,200 in value. The best prize, what he got, were AirPods, I believe. And then the second prize, I think, was a Kindle.
Dang.
They had a bunch of like gift certificates for their sponsors. They have like clothing sponsors, a coffee brand for like $100, $50, $25. The one I got, I think I was like 6th or 7th place. The one I got was a jingle written about me,
Oh wow.
which every time they do a podcast episode, they have people submit jingles that they write like about the podcast, and one of the guys on the podcast like sings it to a popular song. And I walked in the room and I saw it. I was like, I want this one. And the other option I was debating were 2 tickets to see him on tour,
Oh no.
to see Jake and Trey. And I was like, I'm already going and I can buy that, but I was like, I can't buy this. So
Yeah. Good choice.
yeah, I'm happy with it.
Smart guy.
So anyways,
Nice.
that was last night. And then we all just kind of like sat around talking. We had to get up at 4:30 the next morning to go to the airport because we were doing shuttle services. My flight was out at 7, but so I like went down and packed, but I was like, I just want to like visit with people. So I just kind of went up and was hanging out for a bit. And then, I went to sleep for like 3 hours, 2.5. And then I went to the airport and then had a rough travel day home because I flew to the Dallas airport, and I was just in pain the whole time. My feet were very swollen from the sunburn. And like I almost
Who knew your feet could get sunburned?
I almost
Did
didn't
you
put
wear
on
socks on the beach?
I almost didn't put on socks at all. I was just gonna wear my slides because I was like, I don't care what people think. I
be
don't want
fair-
to put anything on.
To be fair, I can't. I probably could. Well, I just don't. You don't think about sunscreening your feet.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I don't think I've ever burned my feet.
That's the thing.
I never
but I
either.
feel like it was an actual sand, like on the
Yes.
So I feel like I think in those it's more typical because, like here in Coeur d'Alene, you're not really gonna be.
No. Why is it more typical in the sand though?
I feel like
It's lighter.
hotter,
Oh, hotter.
because this was a sand hot.
Maybe.
Wouldn't
I
the
don't.
sun-
It
no,
wasn't
the
like
sun would go
hot
into
to
a
stand
darker-
on.
What?
Why would it be on a sand though? Because sand's a light color. Wouldn't it be darker colors that would be hotter?
No,
on?
well, I just feel like anytime we've been like to the Italy beaches, they've been really hot. Like those,
Yeah,
the
sand's so
sand's
hot.
super hot.
Hmm.
But it's not like he like
But
Can't
singed
stand on
his
it.
feet.
maybe it's
Yeah.
more like sand
sunburn.
burn, like a sand burn,
Yeah.
because it's your feet are in the hot
Maybe.
sand the whole time.
Yeah,
and-
the swollenness might have been more than just a sunburn. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was uncomfortable. But I was planning. I mean, I was gonna like. I had a list of not a list, but I just had an idea of things I wanted to do in Dallas. I wanted to go to Topgolf because there was one there, and I was like, I don't want to be on my feet at all, so I skipped that. I went to Whataburger for the first time and had a honey butter chicken biscuit. That was delicious.
Nice.
And then just like chilled there for a bit. I went to a park, or what I thought was a park.
It was actually a homeless camp.
It was yeah, weird. The Uber driver's like, "Are you sure you want to be here?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I was like, "If not, I could just get another Uber to leave."
Was it like sketchy? Because like
No, it wasn't sketchy at all, but it was just like it was like a grass area with a bench, but it was just on the edge of like a canal. And so it wasn't even like really nice water, and it was just a nice area, but it was like, well, there's one bench, and it was a warm day, and any exposure to the sun I had, everything that was sunburned just hurt. My feet were like boiling.
So did you regret it immediately?
Yeah. I like went over and like laid in the shade under a tree, and then I was like, okay, I'm not going to be here. And also my phone was at like 15%, and I was like, I need to charge this. So I was like hobbling around trying to find an outlet, and then eventually I was like, I'd rather just be sitting in the airport at this point. So I went back to the airport and sat there for like 5 hours before my flight. I changed gate a few times, and that's how I spent a 10-hour layover.
So
But yeah, then got back here like 11 p.m. or so, and that was my trip.
So just to reiterate for everyone,
Mhm.
in case you forgot from the beginning of the story, this was for a podcast that you listened to.
Mm-hmm.
Was
Vacationing with.
vacation. Did they mention at all that they wanted to do this again?
Oh yeah, they were while we were down
And
there.
have
They,
they done this in the past, or is this the
Nope.
first time?
first time while we were down there, they were like, "So we're gonna do this again." I think that's pretty obvious, and they're like, "We'll, kind of figure out places, whatever." And we were talking places while we were down there. I mean, I told them I was like, "I think it's fair that since I traveled the furthest, you guys come to me now." We were kind of
Spokane,
saying,
man, this sucks.
yeah, they literally. I said that, and they were like, "Okay, what is there to do in Spokane?" And I was like, "Let me get back to you on that."
You should have said Sandpoint, Take them to
Yeah.
the disc golf
I
area.
mean, Coeur d'Alene's right there. so-
Coeur d'Alene,
so
yeah.
actually, Coeur d'Alene would be not a bad place to suggest for them. 'cause
Yeah.
I feel like there's more stuff to do in Coeur
Do
d'Alene.
they do like a criminal records check? When
That's-
people
yes,
come?
Nope.
It's
But-
the type of like podcast and like community that like
You just
have
trust.
full trust
Yeah.
with everything. It's really weird.
Regardless,
It's-
I know I
Listen.
get it, but regardless, I feel like
Yeah.
that is pretty.
We were-
a lot of trust goes into that. For
Yeah.
sure.
We've been listening to this podcast for like 3 years
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like know everything about their lives
Yeah.
and
It's
stuff.
it's
yeah, and guess what? Big Daddy G in jail's been listening to it too. So next thing you know, he gets out. He's
Well,
like,
they
yeah,
also had to pay
feel like
quite a
doing
bit,
something
so-
mean.
yeah.
Ju-
There was like talk. We were all in like a group text for like 2 months leading up, whatever. And a few people were joking. They were like, "Yeah, my mom's worried I'm gonna get murdered and everything." My mom was texting me a bunch, and like I told her when I got there, I was like, "This is what we're doing," blah blah. And I was like, "I am not gonna be texting very much, but I will try to text you to let you know that I'm still alive." But go ahead.
Did they do any sort of like recording, like a recording video? To like,
So we did a podcast episode. Oh, that's what we did Saturday afternoon. Those are the two things I forgot.
you guys did record a podcast episode with them,
Yeah. So they
Nice.
like
That's
talked.
actually
We were kind of in the background.
and they just recorded themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't do a whole lot of talking. That was Saturday, like kind of talking about the trip. Thursday when it was like pouring rain outside, they also have a comedy YouTube channel called Gene Schwartz Comedy. So we did a video about that. We were all in. Sheltered kid goes to a party. So excited to see myself in a YouTube video
Mm-hmm.
for that. But yeah, so we did those two things. And but we were talking about like where to go next, whatever. And they're like, honestly, like I told them, Oregon coast would be amazing to go to.
That's actually not bad.
And they were like, yeah, we could do like the mountains or something.
Yeah.
I was like, that'd be cool if we got a house.
Sand dunes.
Yeah. House in Sandpoint or
dunes
something,
are fun.
like
There's some hikes
a
there
biking.
too.
Yeah, hikes, disc golf, whatever. So they're already like, I think the full day back, the one host texted Brad and he texted all of us and he was like, it might be crazy, but I'm already looking at places to rent for next time.
Did they mention?
Yeah.
Nice.
Did they mention like, oh, because you guys went this time, they want to open it up to different people? Or
I mean, it was open to everyone.
right.
Yeah.
Everyone that listens to the podcast, it was like anyone's available. And I'm curious to know how many people wanted to come and tried to book a ticket but didn't make it in time because
It was
basically
open for a while, right?
it was. And they booked the rooms, they sold it. They were like, it's going to be separate floors, women and men, and you can book a room as a couple if you're a married couple, or you can book it like one twin bed for a single male or the other one for a single female, or if you want to get like a queen size bed with another guy. So I went and I tried to book a room for a single male and they sold out instantly. And then I was trying to get Giuliano and Isaiah to go and they couldn't. And
So,
so
you shared a bed
then
with somebody
'Cause
else.
I had a honeymoon to go to.
I
It's not as important.
created a Facebook account just for this. Never wanted Facebook in my life, but I
That's
did for
why I
this.
keep saying the Facebook account.
Created a Facebook, joined their Facebook group, and made a post. And I was like, "Hey, here's the situation I'm in. If any other guys are in this situation, what's up?" And this guy responded right away. He's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And so this is a situation where like I fully trusted him. I was like, "Okay, do you want to spend the couple $1,000s and I'll Venmo you half, or me?" And he was like, "I'll do it. You Venmo me this much." I was like, "Cool."
You
And
got
I-
the two
we-
different separate beds, right?
Yeah, and we actually going down, like we thought we were gonna have to share beds, but the arrangements were different than they thought. So all the guys had their own like queen size beds.
Were there a
Girls had to
lot?
share.
Were there a lot? Sorry to interrupt. Were there a lot of like married couples, single people? Like, how was the whole?
There were, I think there was Brad and his wife. One married couple had a room, and then I think there were 3 other married couples. The rest were, in joined rooms with other female or males.
Did anyone come with like their friends and like, or was it all completely like everyone was strangers?
There were a few. There were like 4 women who went to an event they had February of 2022. They had an event in Kansas where they are. And so there were a few that like went on that trip and stayed together there. So they knew each other previously from that.
From
the podcast thing.
Oh, so they've done
Yeah.
this before.
No.
Well, no, not this vacation.
Oh, okay.
They said, come to our hometown. We're going to do a full day of pickleball in this, and we're going to do a comedy show.
Gotcha. It kind
and
of like what they did with.
record a podcast. But it was in their
Okay.
city.
Gotcha.
So there were a few people who knew each other by that. I didn't know anyone on this trip. The only person who I had met was Jake, who's the one host, because he came to Spokane like 2 years ago.
Did he remember you?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I walked in. He was like, dude, I'm so happy you could come.
Did he? So, was it him that was wearing the Gonzaga shirt? In your
Yeah.
post? Okay.
I literally, that was cool because I told him, I was like, dude, nice shirt. He's like, thanks, man. He's like, I wore this just for you. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, I wore it because we got a tour of Gonzaga University when we went there last, and because you're from Spokane and you were on this trip, and I brought it. And
That's
I was
pretty
like, awesome.
Nice.
So,
Respect.
but yeah, it was, they're already talking about doing another one, but it was a blast. It was, I've told a few people, I'm like, other than like family and friends, this is like the only community who I would willingly like fly across the country and stay in a house with 30 people I've never met and Venmo a lot of money too, or like, have purchased it and trust that he's going to Venmo me for half, It's a pretty unique community that like everyone just trusts. And it's like, I mean, we all have the same values and everything. And it's like, we know each other, even though we're strangers. So it was pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we're golfing. Pat and I are golfing with that guy that like runs the podcast.
Yep.
For,
When is he?
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks.
He's coming up for Spokane.
He's going on comedy tour or on his comedy tour with Trey Kennedy and
Trey Kennedy's coming back up here again.
yeah.
Is he at the comedy club? That's where.
No, they're at the Fox Theater this time.
Oh, okay.
Big boys.
I was gonna say because I didn't see when we went
Yeah, I
to the
didn't see him on
comedy
the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and we're golfing with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
There were There was one. I mentioned how I was sitting next to an older couple on the last flight home. I was like sitting there. I was in the window seat, and I was watching a movie or something, and I was like, "Gosh, there's like a horrible smell." And I was kind of looking around trying to figure it out. And the old lady next to me was eating peanut butter M&Ms, and her husband was eating like smoothie flavored Starbursts. And I think the combination of those two was just the weirdest, most pungent smell ever.
That's pungent.
Yeah,
It was, I mean, it was like peanut butter and chocolate mixed with like tropical. And I was like, this is horrible.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, it was not fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Interesting.
just kind of funny to me.
So they did this trip in May. Well, no,
April
Are they
26th
planning?
to 30th.
Did they say they're planning to do it later this year or the next year? For
It's probably going to be next year, I
Okay.
think.
Gotcha.
I don't really know. I mean, they sent out a survey and they were like, where do you want to go and what time of the year?
Mhm.
And I think Giuliano and I filled it out. And I selected all 12 months except for 2. I didn't select April for his wedding. And I didn't select, I think, June, just because start of summer, weddings, whatever. And they picked April.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was after his wedding, so it worked out.
Mhm.
But they might do that again to kind of pick the time of
Yeah.
year. But I think that's a good time of year to go.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, maybe if you're gonna go somewhere else, maybe like if Florida is gonna be like rainy, maybe not April.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know. The weather, it was only like
I don't
that.
know what Florida weather is like in any time of the year. But
Yeah. It was only like that the 4 days we were there. Literally,
It's on and off.
the day I left Spokane went from like 50 and overcast to like 80. And Florida went from, I mean, the exact opposite. It was like thunderstorms, pouring rain. We had one nice day, and then my first day back in Spokane was thunderstorms, which I didn't mind because
The
I like
thunderstorms
thunderstorms.
have been crazy here lately.
They've been pretty cool.
They've been long.
I
Like,
love
And then
it.
Florida
awesome.
jumped back up to 80 the first day I was back. I was gone from there.
I will say this year for just Spokane weather has been like really weird. Like it's just jumped all of a sudden to like 80 degrees, where it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
50s
that's
and
nice.
then 80s. Like next Monday is supposed to be like 90 degrees.
Good gracious.
Yeah. So
And more
I-
thunderstorms probably.
what?
Yeah.
They kept flashing and the lightning in my window. I'm like, who's taking pictures?
My curtains are closed, right?
Anyway, well that's cool. That sounds
Yeah,
like a lot
that
of
was
fun.
my trip.
That's pretty cool that like podcast is able to do that. And
It was
have a lot of
very unique.
trust and
Someone
Yeah.
asked while they were recording, not during the podcast, but Jake, the host, he was like, yeah, Jensen on the trip asked me, did you guys like get this idea from another podcast? Like, and he was like, I don't think anyone's ever done this before.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think a podcast, any like random group of people that's completely public has ever done this before,
yeah.
which is,
We needed that for our podcast.
Yeah. it's going to be all our friends and family.
It's all just
And they're
family.
not going to pay a lot of money to go on vacation with us.
Let alone us pay for them.
Yeah, we're not paying for that.
Even pay back.
It's like we actually need you guys to pay for everything.
No, that's cool though. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, how long have we been recording for?
We are at an hour 7.
Hour 7. Okay. Do we want to just go directly into our draft?
Let's do it.
So, I guess I need to read the results of the last
Yeah.
draft
Yeah, you
first.
do.
real quick.
Do
Yeah,
that.
you do, man.
All right. Let's do this. So, let me pull it up real quick.
Thought you already had a list, Giuliano.
I do. Just some
All right. So the
other
last
stuff.
wait. Oh, did we not do one last time? Was the last one best male actors?
No, we did one last time. It was best duos, best fictional duos.
Yeah.
Why do I not have?
Let me find it.
Why do I not have the results on here? Oh, we do. I do. Okay,
We were
okay.
about to
Brother.
cut your pay too.
Yes. Okay. All right. So here we have the results. I'm gonna read the list out first.
Hey. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the first list, and I'll reveal whose is whose. So the first list was mine, and it was. So we did most iconic fictional duos, and it
Mhm.
was my list was Mario and Luigi, Scooby Doo and Shaggy, Shrek and Donkey, and Walter White and Jesse Pinkman. The second list was Pat, and he had SpongeBob and Patrick, Jim and Dwight, Tom and Jerry, and Abbott and Costello.
If you know who they are, stellar picks.
And then the third list was Jordan's, and he had Batman and Robin, Sherlock and Dr. Watson, Woody and Buzz, and Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right,
but-
and
It's decent.
last place.
It's decent.
Now again, we
It's
had
above average.
we had another very close, tight race.
Really?
Yes, all the really.
I was shocked. Go ahead.
Well, okay, so all the votes were within one. So, last
Wow.
place
Dang.
with what the heck? Oh, yeah.
Do you want to take bets, Giuliano?
Read the first list again.
I'm not gonna. Read
I
the-
didn't
I'm not gonna.
know you
Read
were
this.
gonna
Yeah.
use that.
I was like listening, but I couldn't. I don't.
Oh yeah,
remember.
yeah.
All right, last place with 31% of the vote, we had Patrick.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, Pat.
Let's go, Pat.
I'm surprised I was that
all
close.
right, and then in first place with 36% of the vote, John Luca. I won.
Bro,
I
he
beat-
rigged it. He rigged it. He rigged it. He rigged it. He voted himself.
Yeah, totally. No.
I actually got some votes I need to add in. to mine.
Last minute.
But yeah, so I won. Jordan was behind by one vote, and then Pat was behind one vote after that. So it was a very tight race. So I'll be picking for next time.
Blame the
But,
people.
so for this draft, Julian was gonna be on it, and we are
Mhm.
doing we're doing top superpowers. So because it's
We'll
because
say most ideal superpowers for like.
That's a
This
lame
life.
word. Don't use ideal.
Okay.
The best.
The best.
best.
Most
the best.
ideal for my work job. Superpowers.
Yes.
Ideal is so dumb, Jordan. Sorry, no offense, but it's a horrible pick, you
Ideal?
idiot. No offense though.
Wow.
that was
Yeah, let's
The
I
heck's
just-
wrong with ideal?
ideal is
The
not a
greatest
great
superpowers.
Yeah, it's not a great word when you're ranking the best of
why don't you
things.
just do the best superpowers?
That's what. No, okay.
the
that's
best
fine.
or the greatest. It's got to be a good word.
You said top. That's wrong.
It's gotta be a good
Best,
word like
top.
ideal.
That's
That's
like
the
the
same
same
thing.
Okay, the most ideal superpowers. That's a good word.
No, let's just do the best superpowers. Okay, we're doing the best.
No,
the
you
best-
idiot. That's a stupid word.
The best
So-
superpowers. Pick the order, Jordan.
Oh yeah.
There's 4 of us now. Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
Hold on, question. Is it a snake draft or
Yeah,
is it?
yeah, snake.
Yeah, Pat gets to go number 1.
Oh, okay.
John Luke can go last. You can go second. I'll go third.
Okay. Second. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
And we are doing 4 or 5.
I was gonna say 3 or 4 because there's 4 of us.
Let's.
Let's
we
do
could- There's a
4.
lot.
There's-
We could do
yeah.
4.
Okay. Cool.
If you can't think of 4, then you're dumb.
Okay. Shoot, I gotta think of 4.
Well, not being dumb is my first one. So.
All right.
Smart
Not very ideal, dude.
Super intelligence. All
Let's
right.
see, the first pick. I don't like being first.
That's why I made you first.
I know. Let's see. I'm gonna go teleportation.
Nerd.
Thank you.
Just kidding. That's a great pick. I would have picked that if you didn't pick it.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you want to explain what teleportation is?
The ability to teleport.
Oh, nice, nice.
Alright,
Okay.
I don't think that's what that is.
My
Then I don't know what it is.
my first pick is going to be telepathy, which is a way of communicating thoughts directly from one
Into the
person's
mic,
mind
please,
to
into the
another
mic, please.
person's mind without using words or signals.
Cool.
Notable users are Professor X, Martian Manhunter, and Jean Grey.
We need to know this.
And me.
And
And now Giuliano.
country of origin, please.
Telepathy.
Canada.
Which one is it? guys?
Telepia.
Telepia, Canada.
All right, Jordan, your turn.
It's gonna go super speed before John Luca takes it. So
fine.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's something. I feel like
You were like dogging on it. You're like, no, you can't do this.
which we're actually gonna bring time travel back into this now. So
Oh yeah, the only thing we said was you can't use.
you can't use time travel.
No, well, no, for super speed. But I'm saying the power that you can't do is the one to absorb all other powers.
Yeah.
That's
That's-
the only superpower you can
until
It's an obvious.
after John Lucas picks, then it's free.
No.
You can choose it.
All right. So for my first pick, I'm going to choose super strength, and for my second one, I'm going to do
Wait,
shape.
You get. Oh yeah, never mind. Sorry.
For my second one, I'm going to do shape shifting.
Nice.
Those are good picks.
I'm gonna go with
These.
time manipulation. So basically the ability to freeze time whenever I feel like
Oh wait,
it.
hold on. Let me find the
I think that's
User.
what time manipulation is.
Yeah, it is,
But
it
double
is.
check.
Let me look up users real quick.
No one. I'm the only one.
Time pause. Okay, here's
me.
here's where, and we have notable users: Zach Morris, Susie and John, and Tempest.
I know zero
Yeah.
of those people.
That means it's a great pick.
Okay, then it's me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my power of. I'll probably do telekinesis, which is
telekinesis.
moving things with your mind.
All right, telekinesis. Notable users. We have Nick Scryer,
Nick Jonas.
Nick Jonas.
Luke Skywalker, and
the
Carrie.
Force?
That's the
I guess-
Force. That's not this
I
mind.
guess the Force is basically telekinesis.
Yeah.
What was the other one we said was off the board? Other than absorbing all the powers?
Oh, well, we just said time travel is not part of super speed.
Oh, okay. Time travel. Okay, I don't care about that one. Let's see. I've got 2 picks in a row. Got teleportation on board. Let's go invulnerability and flight.
Oh, okay, flight. So users are
so
Superman,
many.
Superman, Captain Marvel, and Tanuki Suit Mario. That's what they have down here. And then what was your other one?
According to the office.
Mario's a legend,
Jesus.
though.
Who was your other one? What was your other pick?
Invulnerability.
Okay, it's on here. I know it is. Which number is that?
No idea.
Oh.
I'm going to guess it's 32.
Wow, are
It's
you
not.
using
IGN.
telepathy?
No, I can't because you took it.
Oh, that's right.
I'm using teleportation. That doesn't matter.
Okay, invulnerability
Okay.
users are Luke Cage, The Tick, and Supergirl.
What number was it?
It was number 8.
You said new girl?
Supergirl.
Yep, New Girl is in. Can't say it.
Invulnerability.
Pat, is or
Giuliano.
Giuliano, it's your turn.
It's my turn, really?
Yes, into the mic, please.
It's my turn, really?
Yes.
Okay, okay, my next pick will be reality warping.
Oh, okay.
That is where you warp reality.
You know you can search stuff on a webpage. Giuliano.
Yeah,
Go.
well,
I know, but I have
I'm not talking to you right now. Stay out of this. I would think you go Alt F and then type it. Alt F. Do you know where F is on your keyboard?
No, I don't know where Alt is.
you can also type it by going
Bottom,
to Google
left,
and typing
third
it.
in. Alt.
What are you trying
Reality
to do?
warping is the
Oh, it's
the
command,
physical
sorry.
ability to manipulate, control, distort, or alter reality.
No, I know that. I just want to find out users.
What can beat reality warping?
Notable users: Scarlet Witch and Franklin Richard.
Ah, Franklin Richard.
Richard. Everybody, the
Mr.
turtle.
S.
Actually,
Just-
he is pretty known. But
That's
just Reed
Reed
Richards. son.
Richards' son. No, yeah.
My turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with probability and manipulation.
I'm surprised you didn't pick
You
explosive
manipulate the
farting.
probabilities.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I manipulate probabilities.
All right. If you can do that, what's the probability?
Notable
pizza.
users: Domino, Longshot, and Amos Fortune.
What the heck?
What
the heck?
I only know.
You said
I only know Domino.
probability manipulation?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Explain that.
So
please.
it's like
You
okay.
literally manipulate the
Like
probability.
this fraction's a fourth now. It's a fifth.
Okay, well, if you let me explain it instead of talking
I
over
was
me.
guessing.
Yeah, thanks. Let me explain before you do something something stupid.
Go!
Anyway, probability manipulation is the ability to manipulate the probability or possibility of an event to occur. Is that too intelligent for you?
No, it doesn't seem that valuable
right.
to me.
No,
It's
no,
very
it's
valuable.
It's really valuable.
Yeah.
Explain the situation.
You're basically the luckiest man on earth.
So okay, so like if you go
You-
into a casino, you'd probably the chances of you winning.
Oh, okay.
would
Or you
be-
can win the lottery.
Or if someone
Okay.
tries to kill you with a bullet, their gun's probably gonna
Oh,
jam.
I follow.
Yeah, that too.
I follow. Nice.
All right,
Sleeper pick.
so my turn.
Yes, sir. Last two. For
All right, so this one is called. There's a couple words for it, but essentially it's Spidey sense. So.
So basically, you can see.
a couple seconds into the future.
I don't know what it is, like 5 to 10 seconds or what.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
No,
I wasn't
we
asking
were
you.
asking.
You looked at me.
I really didn't
Okay,
know
and
Not
then
you.
my last pick.
An extraordinary ability to sense imminent danger, or a sixth sense.
Yeah.
Say that 5 times fast.
Sixth sense. Sixth sense.
Six cents.
That was 3.
Yeah, I stopped.
It's a 6
You did it. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
And your last pick.
Hold on one sec. I know I had all this time. I was too busy looking at.
I cannot hold on.
Okay. Oh wait. The weather manipulation.
Controlling
Oh
weather.
my gosh.
So
I was
weather
gonna pick
control?
that.
Weather. Okay.
It's atmokinesis. Golly. You don't deserve that pick.
Manipulation.
All
Even use
right.
the
Notable
word.
users are Storm, Weather Wizard,
Nice.
and Rain from Mortal Kombat.
Such weathery
I
names.
bet he controls the rain.
All right.
I'd be
Last,
under.
I'm just gonna go self-duplication.
That's a good one.
Why
Yeah,
would you
because
want
we need more of
yourself?
you.
Multiple tasks done at a time.
No.
And then somebody else. No, you're doing it wrong.
No, I'm right.
No, Jordan's gonna use it for the golf course, and he's gonna hit the ball. I'm like, all right, now
He's
go hit
gonna
the
play.
golf.
He's gonna play
golf ball
scramble
for
with
me.
himself.
I
Words-
mean,
He's gonna play Words with Friends.
Actually,
Why
that's
didn't you know that word? Go.
No, that's a pretty
go,
good power.
stop.
That's a pretty good power.
poop.
I'd love to watch another of you fight. You. That'd be
They
it.
would be on
You
the
see
same
two
team.
of
It's
yourselves fight
himself.
while you.
But they'd still
talk.
fight
Why would they fight? It's himself.
because it's Jordan.
No.
Okay.
Giuliano.
All right. My next pick is invisibility.
Nice.
It's the power to be invisibility.
To be invisibility.
Notable users are Invisible Man, Elastigirl.
All right. Notable users are Invisible Woman, Violet, and Prophet from Crisis. I don't know what that is.
I played
Nice.
that game. It's pretty fun.
I have a honorable mention when we're done.
We're not done yet.
Well, no one's gonna pick it.
This isn't a list. This is a draft. So we don't get honorable mentions.
All right, my last pick. Sleeper pick. I can't believe you guys didn't pick this.
Sleeping.
Eat anything. Just kidding. Not picking that. Not picking explosive farting. I know you guys. are
Notable
expecting
users
me.
for Eat Anything. Matter Eater Lad.
Wait, what's his name?
Matter Eater Lad.
That's horrible.
You don't know
The
him?
ability to consume all matter in any form. Oh, so it's not just food. It's just like anything.
It's anything. You could eat
It's
anything.
like Kirby.
You can literally
essentially.
eat anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Or Patrick Star.
for my last pick. I'm gonna go size shifting.
That's pretty good.
Size shifting.
Mm-hmm. Shift
What would
Like
you
Ant
shift?
Man.
size.
So notable users: Ant-Man, Giant Man, Adam
Who's Adam?
from
Adam.
From Shazam.
Oh,
Adam.
Shazam! All right.
Weatherable mentions. Honorable.
Weatherable mention. I have an honorable mention.
Into the mic, please.
I have an honorable mention.
Explosive farting.
Lingualism.
Oh.
You can speak any language.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
pretty cool.
understand.
Yeah, I saw
Or
that.
speak to what about like one where you speak to animals?
Animal communication.
Animal control. I
Yeah,
have that
that's
on my
it.
list.
Here's one. Explosive farting. Notable users are Wario,
And fart man.
Fart Man.
Fart man?
Yeah.
Oh man, I just said that.
The last one: produce bouncing gold balls.
Oh yeah, Giuliano showed me that one.
Notable
Ooh.
user: gold balls.
That's better than the superpower. I just
and
want the
Notable
name.
users is the hen from that like fairy or that tale.
Yeah.
Or whatever, the
Oh,
golden
yeah,
egg.
yeah,
Golden
yeah.
goose or whatever.
There's another
What's
one.
up,
that
Goldie Balls?
says Super maggots. Notable user: maggot with two T's.
Maggot.
Maggot. Okay. Anyway.
One I
Maggot,
saw,
maggot.
it's speaking with the dead, but I read it as speaking with the dad. And I thought, that'd be a cool power to have.
I love to speak to my dad.
Only can speak to dads.
Man, I'd love to speak to my dad.
Anyway. All right.
Shall I
if you wanna-
recap?
So do we vote,
recap
do we
real
vote
quick.
now?
All right, Patrick picked teleportation, invulnerability, flight, and size shifting. Giuliano picked telepathy, telekinesis, reality warping, and invisibility. Jordan picked super speed, time manipulation, probability manipulation, and self-duplication. 2 manipulations, I don't know.
It's actually
That's gonna bode for
self-manipulation
you.
is the last
Yeah.
one. You got that wrong.
Gianluca picked super strength, size shifting, spidey sense, and weather manipulation.
Wait,
Wait,
hold on, we have
that's two
to-
size shifting. Pat, you picked size shifting, and Don't Look at picked size shifting.
Oh yeah.
You picked shape shifting.
That's the
Oh,
one it
yeah,
was.
Sorry.
shape-shifting.
What's the difference?
Shape-shifting is
into
like-
different things.
Yeah. It's like I could turn
people.
into like a
Yeah.
chair.
Oh, I see.
That's
Wow.
what you turn into.
Watch out!
Turn into.
Look at me.
We're just gonna sit on you.
I'm a rocking chair. Watch out.
I see, Gianluca. I see.
No, so it's like, and what's the Call of Duty game where you have to turn into?
Oh, prop hunt.
Oh, yeah.
prop hunt. Yes, yes. That's what it's used for.
But only.
When are you playing prop hunt?
You guys play Call of Duty all the time. So
Someone's gonna shoot you and you're gonna die.
Yeah. How well does?
what if I'm hiding and it turns to a lamp?
I
That's
just
the
I
first
just
thing
put
I'm
this
looking
lamp
for.
Here. I never bought this lamp.
I know the city and they don't have a lamp here.
I love lamp.
I mean, never mind. I was gonna make a joke with the lamp thing. Anyway, all right.
Awesome.
Well,
wrap it
anyway,
up.
go to our Instagram to vote for the lists, and then we will reveal the results next episode.
Yeah, dog.
Thank you, Giuliano, for joining us on this episode.
Anytime when it works out for me.
All right. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Galax Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts, YouTube. Podcasts. And then, yeah, you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts app or Spotify, or tell us in the comments on YouTube. And then, yeah, thank you guys for listening to the episode, and we will see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.
See you guys.
I was gonna say.